Hello there. Welcome to another Shadow Block playthrough. This playthrough is going to be of Pokemon CrystalDust, not Angel Dust. We're not be getting high, or at least a light high of playing Pokemon once again, because apparently I am addicted. CrystalDust is a ROM hack. It is a Gen 3 remake of the Johto half of Pokemon Crystal. So the reason I wanted to play this, well, there was a lot of reasons. I mean, I'm actually post-commentating over some old footage that I recorded. Gotta make a new game here. But the first reason I wanted to play this is because it did seem like a very interesting ROM hack. The second reason is actually you could trade. I wanted to play ROM hacks that you could trade the Pokemon back to the original games, and this is one of them because it does very minimal editing to the Pokemon metadata, and as long as it does minimal changes to that metadata, you could pretty much change that Pokemon from any ROM hack to the base games. The problem is that there's so many ROM hacks, and I would say most of the ROM hacks, maybe not most, but a great deal of the highly touted ROM hacks, they changed the game to such a degree that they can't even communicate with the base games anymore. Especially if they require like a lunar IPS patch or something like that, so on and so forth. But anyways, we're starting out here in our new adventure. Of course, it's old Professor Oak giving us the intro, and of course, boy, I really want to play as I don't remember. Yeah, I guess I do pick a girl. Because this is my favorite girl design. Yep. I'm going with the name Isaac. For some reason, I just felt Isaac. I want to name the girl Isis because I really like that name, but I think we need a couple more years, but for Isis to go back to being related to ancient Egypt and not ISIS, the Islamic State of, what does it stand for? The Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. That makes sense, I guess. But we gotta get the stench of that off for a couple more years. Then I can start naming my characters ISIS. Anyways, going in my PC, there's no potion. I thought it was just a piece of mail. But this is the map that we're dealing with for now. Obviously, there is the Kanto part, like Route 26, 7, and 8, I think, which is before the Victory Road. There's that part of Kanto, but there's nothing else. Sadly. Maybe there's not enough space on the cartridge or something like that. But yeah, I know it wouldn't be feasible because their development team would have to be a lot larger. But it would have been cool if like every generation they remade every year. I mean, that's such a waste of resources, I guess. But we get the Poke Year here, and as I'm recording this, I believe I picked the wrong day. I feel like I was recording this on a Sunday. Is it daylight savings time? Yeah. So basically, this game is pretty much 100% accurate in everything that it's like recreating. You move on to these stars dot the sky with two boys ride a train. I better get rolling too. No volcano bake meat over there, so don't even worry about that. Hello, visiting. What? My daughter is adamant about Professor Ohm's assistant. Okay. That's cool. Here we are in New Barktown. God damn. It feels so right and so nice to see Johto Gen 3ified. Oh man. I really want to see every region like be in this this current. Like I really like Gen 3's art style. That's like how everything looks. It's right before everything in Pokemon, the overworld in Pokemon became 3D. And it has like that really good 2D charm to it. It's still a decent level of detail. This looks very good. Who's that red-headed son of a gun over there? Oh, this is the interface for the Pokegear. I like how it looks, but I don't think it's really. Well, I think it's not really all that great, but yeah, because Pokegear, I think you can only, if it's a 100% remake, which is probably going to be very accurate. I think in the Pokegear you can only have 20 people registered, so there will have to be swapping places or whatever, especially later on where only certain contacts can give you certain items. But yeah, it's cool that they were able to make that menu though. So this is the famous Elm Pokemon. Like, what are you staring at? Get shoved. Anyways, time to meet Professor Elm. There you are. Yeah, here I am. Those 3 Pokemon or Pokeball looking nice over there. I'm conducting Pokemon research right now, and I was wondering if you could help with it. You see, I'm writing a paper that I want to present at a conference, but there are some things I don't quite understand yet, so I'd like you to raise a Pokemon I recently caught. Sure thing, pal. When I announce my findings, I'm sure delve a little bit deeper into that such Pokemon or whatever. And you just got an email. I have an acquaintance called Mr. Pokemon. He keeps finding weird things and raving about these discoveries. Just kind of email saying this time it's real. Okay. It is intriguing. We're busy with something. He's busy here doing what, I wonder. But yes, we get to choose amongst these 3 Pokemon. You already know who they are. It is Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and a Totodile. Now, in terms of like actual in-battle function, not in terms of design or anything like that. Well, I mean, their function as starter Pokemon. I don't think these are actually great starter Pokemon, although I do like them as Pokemon. Chikorita is just like, it's a fine grass type, but it pales in comparison to pretty much every grass poison type in the game. And then there's also Executor, the grass type. I just feel like the dual type grass type Pokemon in this game would just outshine it, because they could do powerful stab grass moves and something else. Chikorita doesn't even have that great of a stat layout in my opinion. I end up picking Cyndaquil here, because Cyndaquil is, I think my reasoning was that I always pick Totodile. I nicknamed Datpiff to memorialize the closure of a Datpiff. The website lost a lot of music that was exclusive to only that site. And at the time when I was recording this footage, it was right after Datpiff closed down permanently. So I want to memorialize it in some way by naming my Cyndaquil after the great website. But yeah, I went with Cyndaquil because even though it's like probably the most common one that people choose, it's the least common one I choose because I prefer Totodile. But Cyndaquil has like the best stats, I would say, the best stat spread of all the starter Pokemon, but I just was never really into it because you're gonna be using like Ember and Flame Wheel until you're like level fucking 42. And Totodile is more of like a mixed attacker type, but its attack is not that high and its special attack's not that high. So it's not really optimal either, and it's like kind of on the slower end. I mean, it's fine. It's an all-around Pokemon, but so I guess it makes it a fine starter. But I just found like they're just sort of worse versions, lesser versions of the original. Like Venusaur blows Chikorita out of the water. You know, Charizard and Typhlosion are pretty much exactly the same. Their stats are exactly the same. I know that much. And Blastoise is a little bit more defensive. I don't know. He's just way bulkier than Relegator. And I didn't even expect a better starter, but enough about talking about starters and whatnot, because we have ours and we're never going back on this. We're finally on routes. Ooh, I forgot the number. This is 29, I believe. Going between this and Renegade Platinum, I forget the route numbers all the time. But yeah, we don't have Pokeballs yet, so as I've mentioned multiple times, this is the most tense part of any Pokemon game, is when you're encountering wild Pokemon and you don't have Pokeballs yet. Because I know it's just a 1 in 8,192 chance or whatever of encountering a shiny Pokemon, but you don't want that 1 in 8,192 chance to happen when you don't have Pokeballs. I cannot bring it up enough, but it's happened to me before, and I'm not gonna say it's gonna haunt me until I die. I mean, it doesn't haunt me now, but it's just like, okay, that's something to watch out for. That's the one thing you have to watch out for early on in this game. Also, I think with this playthrough, I'll be speeding up a lot of the wild encounters going forward. If it's not a wild encounter where I catch the Pokemon, I think pretty much I'm gonna speed it. And if it's also the first time I see a Pokemon, I won't speed it up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try to keep this one a little more faster paced, because honestly, this game isn't. Maybe I shouldn't even have. Maybe I should do it with my other series with Mother, which is coming out later today. But get a nice little potion here, because honestly, this game isn't that long. I'll switch tabs here for a second, because of course I am playing on emulator. I wanted to play this on my GameCube through a flash cart, but that is such a. I might talk about that in the next part if I remember the GameCube trying to mod my GameCube saga, because that was pretty fucking annoying. Oh man, I guess I'll talk about it right here. Basically, I want to do like the Swiss botting thing for my GameCube, and I was like testing. I was testing all this different. Well, first I was testing these different quality video settings to have like an M Classic. So I had like the component to HDMI to an M Classic to an Elgato into my computer, and I'm trying to get the best video quality. And it was like, fuck, the video quality is not that good. That it still has that Visual Boy Advance like dimness to it. Okay, now I have to actually. I should have said this for the next part. Anyways, I could talk more about this and continue our adventure on Route 29 and beyond next time. Thank you so much for watching, and see you later.